Smell. I was asked by Gail Crafts to do the tag that a lot of you have been being tagged in, which is the top 2012's top 20 crafty favorites. So I thought I'd get together my list of what are my favorites for this year. I'll start off by saying not everything is something that just came out in 2012, but I just started using it in 2012. And I say this in all my videos, I think, like, I don't care if stuff's old or not, you know, it's always good to hear it, you know, and there might be one person who didn't hear it, so hopefully this will help you, you know, maybe show you something new that you didn't know, or, you know, vice versa. So number one, we'll start with, I put this, they're not in any type of order, you know, they're just all, you know, favorites. Say hi, Maya. Okay. Don't go chomping in the video. Okay. So my number one favorite is Paper Tray Inks onesie die. Now you can make cards with this and banners. Maya, can you bring me that banner right there? I'll show them that real quick. You guys can, I tried to create a playlist, so it should be up by now. But I made a lot of things with this so far, and I think it's about $13 on the Paper Tray Ink website. And thank you. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get it all in frame, but if you guys missed my video before this, I had my second nephew was born on December 29th, and we were over at the hospital all day with her, so we've had a busy holiday season, and but anyway, I made this banner for his crib, but this was made using my crocodile to cut the holes in it and some burlap ribbon, and this onesie die. So I really like this onesie die, and I made the little girl ones are my favorite because you can do them up with tulle and, you know, fancy things. So that would be number one, Paper Tray Ink onesie die. So number two is my Flip Its die. Again, this is not new, and I believe you can find this over at Stamps of Life. It's made by Stephanie Bernard, and Sizzix makes them for her company. She's a fun person to watch. This is what the die looks like. I was going to grab you the box, but this one's the circle one, and it looks funny on here, but I'll show you what it does. So here's one card that I made that I showed you guys. It looks like a plain card, you know, this way, and then, but what it does is you hold, you know, the two ends, and you open it up, and then you can put a little message on the other side. And you can also do these up with like pattern paper, you know, and do coordinating paper on these sides. So this is just a basic one, but I just think it's neat, and it gives the card a little more, just a little adds to it, you know. And then here's another one of another shape, and you do it and it spins. It got a little ripped, but so there's that one. So just to give you an idea, so that's number two, and that's you can find them at Stamps of Life, and they're called Flip Its dies, and they have a ton of shapes, but I just have the circle one, and because I think that's when I'd be able to use the most, so that's what I got. And you can use it with your circle spellbinder dies to do the layers. And other than that, I know she sells, like, for example, this one, she sells, not only you would get the die this shape, but then see this person who sent me this card, she also has an additional die that does all the layers. So, but for the circle one, you can use spellbinder circles, because I know a lot of people already have that one, so that was a benefit for me. Okay, so number three would be my art bin, and you guys probably have seen these. I think this just came out this year, but I have the Dynamics thing covering it. I don't know why that's there, but is these art bin die storage. Now they're heavy, but these are good, and I just like how it keeps them all organized. And what I'll show you is inside. Let's see if I can do this without dumping them all out. They have a bunch of little sheets, and I'll lift one out. They're magnetic sheets, and they'll hold. It has a white background. They're only one-sided though, like the back side you can't use, but that would be nice if you could do both sides, but I guess they would stick and fall off, who knows. But so this was my favorites, and you can hold them all and organize them, and then I still have to put my spellbinders in there, but you see on the wall behind me on one of my cabinet spaces, I utilized like every inch of space, so that was one of the first things I had. So that's that, and let's see.
I put the rest of the dies?
Yes, they're called dies.
In the case thing.
Maya helped me. Maya was helping me organize them. Okay, so that's number three, my art bin. Then number four, this is a wagon I didn't think I was going to jump on, and I didn't understand it at first, but I really liked washi tape. And I showed you guys I made it's still not finished. I've got so much stuff going on. But I wanted to cut a hole in this and then just to make a little clear window with transparency. What is that? Acrylic? What are those little sheets called? You guys know what I mean. But this was just repurposed out of an old Reynolds wrap box that I still have to paint the bottom. But so that's my washi tapes. Now, I used washi tapes, and you're going to see it on another one of my favorites later on in the video. I used the washi tape, but what I really love it for is when I use my dies to tape it to the paper so they don't move around in my cuddle book, because they will do that, and especially, you know, with all the shaking. So I use it for that because it acts as like painter's tape, like it's low tack, so it's not going to, when you go to rip it off, like take your paper with it. So I really, really like it for that, and I've been using it. I know some people use Post-it notes as well, but I really like washi tape for that reason. So that's my number 4. My number 5 is my bling. I know this is not new, but this is something I really liked using this year, and I'll show you. I have quite a few colors. I ordered them a while ago, and it was by like Creative Soup for the Soul on Zibbit.com, but I don't think that seller's there anymore. But I know you can just type in bling mesh, and I've heard they're on eBay. There's a few sellers on Scrapyard. I ordered a few more sheets for a Valentine's Day swap I'm hosting coming up. So Scrapyard, eBay, also on Zibbit. When you go on Zibbit.com, you can just type in bling mesh and you can find, and I don't know if they sell them in groups like this, but I know they at least sell individual sheets because I was just on there the other day. So that is number 5. Number 6 is this is not new, but anybody who hasn't tried, you know, say you just use a regular cardstock, anybody who hasn't tried Paper Tray Inks cardstock, you know, even if you only get like the variety pack or one little pack, I promise you, you will love it. And I kind of hoard these, and these are just 2 of the colors. And they're Berry Sorbet and Melon Berries, these 2 colors. But I don't know if you can see behind me this way. They're all up there, right here. Yep, right there. But I hoard these. I don't use these for Cricut cuts or, you know, your basic little scraps, or I use these, like I'll use them in my spellbinders, or I'll use them as card bases, but I don't use them for Cricut cuts. For Cricut cuts, I use like the Michaels cardstock packs, the Joann's cardstock packs, because they don't need to be super, super thick. But these make the nicest card bases. It's just so sturdy, and it's just, it makes them seem like really professional. So I really like that. So I had to put that on my favorite. That might even have been on my 2011 favorites, but it made it again this year. Okay, so that's number 6. Number 7 is MFT dies. Pretty much any MFT dies, which is myfavoritethings.com, but I think it's mftstamps.com is what it comes up. I order from them so much it just automatically comes up when I type it. But let me see, like this one's from MFT. Some of these are mixed, like Memory Box or Paper Tray Ink. That one's a W9 one, onesie one. But here's some more. Let me grab these. I think one of these, or are these Paper Tray Ink too? This one's the swirly one at the top, and some of these button ones, these are MFT dies. But like they're like, even this one's the Eiffel Tower's MFT die, and I think it was like $3.50 or $3.99. So they're decent prices. So I really like them and the dies from Paper Tray Ink. But so that is my number 7. Number 8. Number 8 is, this is another thing that is not new, but I just didn't see what the big hype was. And usually all Tim Holtz things are like I don't want to say grunge, or it's just not usually, like I usually go to like a, you know, bright and cheery style. So I just never really got into a lot of his things, but I love his tools. Now, I don't have the scissors that everybody loves, but I have the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, which I love because this, I didn't think I needed this, and I wish it could go all the way through, but this I use a lot for my like treat bags for like Halloween, Valentine's Day, anything, you know, and it kind of adds to the project too. And the staples, because I thought, you're paying, you know, this much because it says Tim Holtz, and I thought it was, you know, a regular stapler, but it's called Tiny Attacher for a reason. They're tiny. And I didn't realize that. I thought they were just, you know, mini staples, but they're even smaller. And I think it even shows you on the back of the package if you look at it in the store. Like, it'll show you regular staples, mini staples, and then the Tiny Attacher staples. So they are different. Then, another thing I really like, and I got this on clearance for $4 at my AC Moore. I don't know if they're still on sale or if they're still on sale anymore. But I really like this because, I don't know if you can see this, but there's all these little holes in it. And you can just do like a paper piercing effect when you're doing your cards, and it, you know, it'll line up and you just, you know, do each little one. I just really like that aspect of it, and I like the ruler. So there's that, and then I also really like this, one of the simplest things. This is the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios. It's just a I can never talk when I'm on videos. It's just a retractable paper piercer, and I really use this a lot, and I find myself, and I like how it keeps it safe, because you see, you know, I have visitors a lot, Maya, you know, and she'll be in here touching stuff and all, so at least this way I know it's not going to poke her or whatever, and she likes to use them. So that is my number 8. My number 9 is my personal, she's saying yep, number 9 is personalized stamps. I really enjoy this. I did a video on this if you want to refer back to that, so I don't talk too much on this video, more than I already am. But I really love my personalized stamps, and I think it adds a lot to your card. And, you know, created, this is one of the cling ones. They're filthy dirty. I shouldn't be showing them, but here's 2 I have, and I also have this one my friend got me. That's a self-inker one. Little small one that gets stamp on it. So I love personalized stamps, and I think it's fun, you know, especially if you're into crafts. It's just a nice touch you can put on the, you know, on the back of your cards, on the back of your projects. So that's my number 9. Number 10 is Spectrum Noir. I got into these markers this year. I did go pretty big into Copic. I didn't collect them all, like I know a lot of you have them all. But what I will say is I like my Spectrum Noir markers. They're good enough for me. What I like about them versus the Copic markers is, just for those of you who've never seen these, what I like about these versus the Copics is this tip. I don't know if you can see that. This very small tip, because it's hard. And I mean, I learned how to do it. And here's a Copic marker, and this is the thinnest tip, and then it usually comes with this one on the end. Now, I wish, I don't know about you guys, but I never use this chisel end tip. I'm always using this tip. So I wish that they would Copics would come with the paintbrush tip and the small tip, like on the fine tip, like on here on the Spectrum, like these 2. I wish that's what they were made of, but unfortunately they're not. And like I said, Copic is the best quality. Even still, I like my Spectrum Noirs, but the quality is better. Even the way they're built, like some of the markings, like these kind of look cheap, but to me, you know, I thought, geez, I'm making cards. I'm not, like, this isn't my business. This isn't, you know, I don't have to have like thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars worth of Copic markers, and I really like the way that these color. So that's my new thing of this year. So that is my number 10. My number 11, I don't have it here, but is burlap. I'm really into burlap, the texture. Those of you who follow me, I have videos sharing my burlap adventures. I was trying to figure out how I can die cut burlap without it fraying. And a lot of you were helping, you know, give different mixtures and potions I can make, you know, with the glues and things like that. So I really like burlap on like mini albums for fall. I just love burlap. Number 12, liquid applique. I didn't grab that, unless it's right here, before the video, but I had Maya go down. I want to show you. This is thanks to Marilyn Fuller, and I'm looking to see if it's here, but it's not. Liquid applique, I believe, is like an older item that's been out and sometimes hard to find, because I checked at my Joann's, Michael's, AC Moore, and I was only able to find it online and Amazon and some different places. But here's what it does. I don't know if you can see this or see the texture, but this is a little gift card I made for my hubby for Christmas with the Emma Aguilera, like the gift card tag die. And this stuff here, I made this popcorn bucket. I cut it out by hand, and then the popcorn on here is textured, and you just heat it up with your heat gun, and it puffs up like, you know, like popcorn or snow. Or my friend Marilyn Fuller, she used it as a like the cappuccino, or like the little marshmallow puff on the, you know, the warm hot cocoa for like winter projects or whatever. So I really like that. So I had to put this on my list. It didn't make it till like very end of December, but it just made it. So that's my number 12, liquid applique. Number 13 is mine's called a pick-me-up tool. And a lot of other ones, I think they're called Quick Stick, or this one is made by Silhouette, and I got this at Custom Crops a long time ago. But also I've seen there was another JC, I think her name is, if I'm saying it right. or unless it's pronounced Jackie, it's Jacci on the scrapyard. She was selling some of these, but this is a great tool. And those of you most of you probably know what it is. I have the cap off, and mine's all grungy and whatever. But basically, what this is, this one end is it almost reminds you of like that putty that you would stick that they sell to like put a poster on the wall so it doesn't rip everything down. But it's just sticky, and you can basically pick up any little small item, you press it on it, and then you transfer it right onto your glue, so you don't have to, you have a hard time picking up little pieces or rhinestones. And another thing I want to share, those of you who are in my card swap, this is a great thing when you're trying to, like, I have a little case of my beads, and it's hard to pick up the exact one that you want. This is something I've been using a lot to grab, to stick it to the exact bead I want instead of digging it out of my little bin, and then it works great for that. And then the end has like this little replaceable, like you can either put this fine tooth edge, or this one's like a chisel, and I guess to help you put your things down. So it's a really convenient tool, and you just turn it to make it come up, and it's just like a tacky little putty. But I've also seen, just a tip, if a money-saving tip, I've seen people use the ends of like the wooden Q-tips or a barbecue skewer and just dip it in that Tombow Mono glue and put a little bit on the end and then let it dry, and then that's tacky enough, and you can use that as your homemade stick pin. So just an idea. I've seen that. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard that works well. Okay, so number 14, I believe we're on, is my MacBook. I know this isn't a Crafty item, but my hubby just got me the MacBook Air. I had the regular MacBook, and he has his iPad, and we have like the Mac. We're big on Mac. Just because they don't get viruses like our other one. We used to have Dells and stuff like that. So my number 14 is my MacBook Air that my husband just got, was my Christmas present, because he knows I'm constantly carrying it up here to my craft room, to downstairs, and it gets heavy, and it's so nice to have this. So I'm very excited about that. So that's my number 14. My number 15 is Spellbinder. So anything Spellbinders on cards. I don't have examples, but I know a lot of you know the Spellbinders. Just the shapes that you see behind me. They really make a difference on cards, and I really like them. I love cutting out my images that I color with them and layering it before I put them on my card. So that's another favorite. Number 16 is the little Memento. I had another one here. These little like Memento, like teardrop inks. I love these. They're so convenient to just to ink around here. And to ink your items. So I really like these. These are something I was late on getting, because I thought, what's this little ink pad going to do? But they are nice and convenient and nice and small. Let's see, where are we at? Number 17 is my ATG gun. Let me reach and get it. Sorry for reaching. ATG gun, nothing special. As far as like, I don't have mine all decorated or anything, but this is just an ongoing favorite. Saves me a lot of money. I use a lot of adhesive. I'm a scrapbooker, card maker, and you know how much you're using. You have to replace those little ones. So this is something that deserves the praise in my mind. So I really like this, my ATG gun. So number 18, where's number 18? Here we go. Number 18 is glitter paper. Any type of glitter paper, and I did have some here. Where is it? Here it is. Here's a little small one. Any type of glitter paper, I just love it. I think it makes a big, huge difference on your little, look how glittery that is, on your Cricut cuts or any cuts like that. And I like the messy kind of glitter. Like this is the glitter that can kind of come off on your finger, but I still like it. I don't like that glued down kind, even though it's nice that it doesn't get on everything. But I just think these sparkle and shine more than the ones that are like set with a cover of glue or whatever that is that they use to do that. That's just my preference. So number 18 was glitter paper. Number 19 is, where's my number 19? Oh, my detail embossing powder. So I did a little video just on these, just small, just showing the comparison. I just recently discovered these this year. I don't know if the detail ones, I know embossing powder has been out for years, but I just recently got really into heat embossing. I just think it looks really nice, and it's fun to see it change. So, but the detail embossing powder really works nice when you're doing sentiments, because sometimes if the thicker they are, when you pour it on the sentiment, you can't make out what the words say. But these detail, and I really like this Recollections detail embossing powder in snow, but it's basically white, and then I have it in silver, and I also have it in gold. But the detail is, you'll see a huge difference, because I guess it's so fine that it really allows it to just go around the words and leave them clean and crisp and readable. So that is my, what number were we on? My number 19. Okay, and my number 20, and this is not last, it's not in any type of order, I should have put this first, is, I know it's, you guys aren't an item, but would be my Crafty subbies, my friends that I've made on here. You, it's your top 20 things, and that is something that I say this all the time, but I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you who take the time to comment, and I mentioned this before, and I know it takes a while, or it's so much easier just to watch them and move on, but I'm telling you, like the comments, like most of us, we're not getting paid to do this. This is something that we decided to take our time to help. I like helping other people. Because I watch videos and they help me. So if I figure something out, I feel like I'm paying back the favor, you know, for the tips that they did, and they used their time to send these videos. So my number 20 is all of you guys and all of you who take the time to comment and help me out too. I even get a lot of suggestions. I learn a lot from you guys. So it kind of is a crafty tool because you guys will suggest something, and you know, I've learned a lot of things just through my comments. So I really appreciate those who leave the comments, and it really helps. So that's my top 20. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking with me to the end if you did, and do a video and show yours. You know what? I didn't even think to tag some people, but I tag, you may have already got tagged already. I tag Marilyn Fuller. I tag, who else? I know a lot of you have done this already. Darla G. So Marilyn Fuller and Darla G, if you guys didn't do these yet. And actually, and Nicole over, I think she's Sweet Dreams and some numbers. I'm sorry if I'm messing that up. So I tag you 3. I'm sorry if you already maybe got tagged, because I know this has been going around, but show your top 20 2012 items, and we'll enjoy to watch it. All right, thanks guys.